Hi guys, today I'm back to film my November and December favorites. I just didn't have time to film my November favorites in the beginning of December, and I didn't really have that many things, so a lot of the stuff that you're seeing today is mostly December favorites, but there are a couple things that are from November. So I'm going to go ahead and get started, but I am going to do favorites, honorable mentions, and unfavorites too, and the unfavorites will be at the end, because I know not everybody likes those. They are kind of, more negative, and some people don't like that, which is understandable, so they are at the end, so feel free to skip that if you don't like unfavorites. But my first favorite this month is actually you guys. I actually hit 1,000 subscribers, so thank you so much for that. It's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of weird, I guess. Like, 1,000 just sounds like such a high number that when people have like 6 million subscribers, I can't even imagine it. So, I mean, 1,000 to me, it's a lot. I appreciate it. This is just kind of, it's fun. It's fun to interact with you guys and just talk about makeup and stuff. So thank you for that. But I will go ahead and get into the actual makeup favorites now. So earlier I guess it was about Black Friday, Cyber Monday, somewhere in that time, I placed a ColourPop order, and I didn't get a ton of stuff. I just got kind of enough to get free shipping, of course, because I think free shipping is like $35 on their website, which is pretty easy to get. You just throw a couple things in the cart and you're at $35. But one of the first things I picked up was the ColourPop. This is the Super Shock Cheek Highlighter in Lunch Money. It's so pretty. I have been on the hunt for like a holy grail highlighter, and I just haven't really found any. Most of that is because most highlighters that I apply, I do have really big pores on my cheeks, and they just accentuate it so much. And when you have this beautiful, like, light catching highlighter, you don't really want to draw attention to your huge pores. So it's been very difficult to find a highlighter, and I was very kind of nervous to try this because this is their Super Shock formula. So it is a lot like their eyeshadows and that kind of thing, where it is a, creamed powder kind of product almost. And since I have more oily skin, I usually stay away from cream products most of the time. But this one is really, really good. I am definitely going to be picking up more of these. It feels so buttery. So nice. That is what it looks like there. And I'll give you a swatch. That is what that looks like there. It is just so pretty. It's just a pretty kind of warm, champagne-y kind of gold color. It just melts into the skin though, and it's fantastic. So I'm going to definitely be picking up some more of those. I'm kind of hoping to get them as a kind of last Christmas gift for my boyfriend. I did pick out a couple other colors, so I'm hoping he will get me those. But we'll see. The other thing I got during my ColourPop order, I forgot to mention, I don't have that on today. I forgot to apply it. If you do want to see what it looks like on, go to my ColourPop Christmas haul video. It's on in that video, and I talk about it a little bit more there, so I would go to that video if you want to see what it looks like on. But like I said, the other thing I picked up with my ColourPop haul was this little ultra matte liquid lipstick set, and I did talk about in the video how this is just kind of a little bit disappointing, but one of the colors in here is my favorite. I think it's called Last Dance, but mine is labeled Times Square, and I know that the first one in this set is Times Square, this kind of like nude color here. So this one I think is, if I remember correctly when I looked it up, it was called Last Dance, but it reminds me a lot of the Kathleen Light's Ofra Cosmetics collab that she did with, and I think the color's called Havana Nights, her new one. Jaclyn Hill has been wearing that one a lot, and so have a lot of other people, and it's really, really pretty. But I would say that this is pretty close. I feel like my camera probably makes it look more like a blue toned red, but it's kind of more of a brown toned red. It's a really unique color. I feel like I don't have anything like it. The formula is actually better than the full-size ultra matte liquid lipsticks that I have from them. It's just not as drying. It's still very runny and that kind of thing. Their doe foot applicators too, I feel like, are just they're very hard. They're not very soft or anything like that, which I guess is kind of okay since the product is really runny, but I don't know, it's just the color and the formula is an improvement. Sadly, with this set though, it does seem like the formula varies a little bit. Like, some of them are really good and some of them are just kind of not as good. But this one, I think it's called Last Dance. It is really, really pretty. It's been beautiful for the holidays. So that has been a favorite. Now onto some kind of things I have had but I'm kind of rediscovering and reloving. The first one is the Urban Decay Naked 2 Basics palette. I just look at this palette and I'm like, yeah, it's a nice palette to, you know, add with another palette. But this was more of a November favorite. I mean, I've been mixing it with other palettes. I've been wearing it on its own. It's fantastic. I'm in love with it all over again, and just I'm kind of questioning why I ever just kind of glance it over and just ignore it. But I have been using Skimp as a brow bone highlight. These two make a beautiful, beautiful transition colors, and then these three are great for, you know, the outer V, kind of darkening things up, setting liner. They're fantastic, but they are just so blendable and pigmented. It's a dream to use this palette. But that has been a huge relove of mine. Another relove is the Smashbox Primer Water. When I originally purchased this, I didn't really use it as a primer water. I mostly used it to kind of, once my makeup was done, you know, get rid of the kind of the powdery look or kind of fix any cakiness. I would spray it on makeup brushes to use eyeshadows wet, but I rarely ever actually use it as a primer water, and I have to say I've been using it as a primer this last like month and a half, and it has just been fantastic. My skin has been super dry starting about the middle of November, I would say, and it's been definitely improving as the month goes on, but I'm not usually one for dewy skin. I have oily skin, so I usually stick with anything that is pretty matte. This just gives me the most beautiful dewy skin, but doesn't overdo it. It is just wonderful. I can skip my morning moisturizer if I feel lazy enough to, and I have, and I use this and I get just the right enough amount of moisture and just the right amount of dewiness for like my oily skin. And like I said, I can still use it for all those other things, getting rid of the powdery look after I do my makeup, fix cakiness, spraying it on eyeshadow brushes. It's wonderful. I know a lot of people will say the Max Fix Plus is cheaper and to just get that one, but I mean, I work at Ulta, so I get a discount, and the other thing is, I think when I bought this, I was using my points, and I bought a ton of stuff, and my total came out to less than $5. So like, I paid pennies for this. It is something that I would definitely save my points for again and use again, because it's just, I love it. The other thing that's great about it is just very quick. So, you know, if I'm feeling a little lazy and I don't have time to put on a primer and make sure I've really blended it into my skin, I know that sounds weird to say that with a primer that you're blending it into the skin, but I have had it happen before where I applied my NYX Angel Veil and I just didn't buff an area in very well, and I had like a white patch, and it makes it uneven, and it's just, you can probably hear my dog barking. I think the mailman's here. I think she's freaking out about that. But anyways, it is a fantastic primer. I'm in love with it. Just fallen all over in love with it again. The foundation I have been pairing that with is the Revlon ColorStay. It's in a naked skin bottle because this has a pump and the Revlon ColorStay currently does not. But I know for a fact that it is going to be repackaged with a pump, and I am over the moon, so excited about that. I cannot wait. Unfortunately, they did not have my color with a pump yet. There were, I think, like 3 colors that had pumps. I think it's just they have to obviously sell out of the old packaging before we can get the new one in. And apparently nobody's buying Revlon ColorStay Buff, because that's my color. But I have been using this with the primer water, and like I said, it just is the right amount of dewiness. This is the one meant for oily skin, so it is pretty matte. But if you use it with the primer water, you get a beautiful, like, dewy, healthy skin look. It's fantastic. I kind of question why I ever quit using this foundation, and I definitely have that with this foundation where I fall in love with it and I fall out of love with it. Right now I'm in love with it, and it's my holy grail. It's my kind of my OG, my ride or die. I have always used this foundation. I always come back to it. It's just fantastic. I cannot wait for the new packaging too with a pump, because that'll just make things so much more convenient. But again, a huge favorite. This is something that I don't know if I've talked about in favorites before. I know I've definitely talked about it in empties videos because I've had samples of it. But it is the Murad Acne Clearing Solution. It's got 0.5% salicylic acid, and it just says acne treatment. This I got with the Murad, like you can get the like skincare sets that have multiple products in them, and they're, you know, like travel size stuff. But this I've already had tried it with a sample, and it's just, it is probably one of the better acne treatments I've ever tried. I have tried their Spot Fast Fix, what I think is what it's called, and I just don't see enough results with that. I actually one time put it on a breakout, and I feel like the breakout got worse. So I don't know if that would be, I don't know if it was because of that or not, but let's see, a couple days ago, I'd say like 3 days ago, I had a breakout right here, and I mean, you can't even tell it's there. I can kind of feel like a slight bump there, and if I look really, really hard in the mirror, I can see it. But I mean, when my makeup's off, it's a tiny bit red. It's pretty much gone. And the thing is that when I felt it coming on, I put this on. I put it on 2 nights in a row. And I would say by the end of the second night, it was pretty much gone. Even the first night, it had drastically reduced in size. It was, again, quite painful when it, you know, starts to come on. But, you know, by the next morning after putting it on that night, it was not painful, and it had reduced in size, and it's just fantastic. This is something I definitely recommend if you're struggling with acne. At least try it. I know with acne, it's kind of a sensitive thing because every product tends to work different for different people. So that one worked really well for me, and I have just been loving it. It's been saving me because I've kind of had a lot of breakouts the last 2 months. I think they're mostly just hormonal stuff, but it's, I don't know, they just seem like they're lingering and coming on a little earlier than they usually do, and the Murad has been saving my life. And I will probably, I hate to purchase it a full size because I don't have cystic acne or anything, like I don't have acne constantly. I've just been kind of getting it hormonally, so, you know, like once or twice a month. But I don't know, I'm afraid if I purchase a full size, it'll expire before I actually use it all. But I would repurchase a full size. Next up is the Bath & Body Works 1000 Wishes perfume. I got this last year for Christmas, and I know I wore it a couple times then, but I didn't really, I don't know, I don't remember really thinking anything in particular about it, like whether I really liked it or disliked it or anything. I was like, oh, it smells good, but I never really paid much attention to it. I pulled it out this year to wear it for Christmas just because I was like, oh, my dad got it me for Christmas last year, I'll, you know, wear it this year. It is so good. I want to run back and get like 5 more because I just really, really like it. And I don't typically, I don't know, especially perfumes and body mists and stuff, I wear them for a couple weeks and I'm like, okay, I'm ready to move on to something different. This I've been wearing almost the entire month of December, and I'm still going strong with it. I still just love it. It smells, I don't even know, I'm horrible at describing scents. It just smells girly. I'm just gonna say that. It smells girly. If you want to smell it, go to Bath & Body Works because I am horrible at describing the scent, but it is really, really good. I know a lot of people have been kind of checking this one out with last Christmas, and I know they had a huge table of it last time I was at Bath & Body Works. That was right around Christmas time, so I think it's kind of more of a, kind of almost a seasonal scent in a way, but they were really pushing it there at Christmas time, so it is really good. I think that is it for my actual favorites. I think now I can move on to honorable mentions. So for honorable mentions, I know that everybody has been seeing all over YouTube that the drugstore is just releasing all of their new products pretty much right now. And when I was at work a couple days ago, I put out most of the new NYX products we got. We didn't get something, so I couldn't put everything out. I've been really watching for the foundation mixers, but I haven't seen those yet. But they did have new lip colors for, we got the butter glosses, the intense butter glosses, and the matte lipsticks. I didn't see any of the new shades for the soft matte lip creams, I don't think. There might have been, but there might not have been. I can't remember. They also had their cream contour palettes. Trying to think, there's new glitters. There's all kinds of new stuff. But I did pick up 3 just because I was like, new colors, like let's just, I need to get some. So this is the NYX matte lipstick, and this is in the color Honeymoon. I don't own anything Lime Crime. I've never had an interest in owning anything Lime Crime except for one time I wanted Babe lipstick, which that I didn't want because I heard that the color was really inconsistent. But this, I feel like this might be a dupe for Lime Crime's Cashmere. Maybe, just kind of what I've seen, which, you know, social media, it's hard to kind of judge those pictures because everybody uses filters and stuff and the colors are just so different on everybody's skin tones. But I feel like this could be a dupe for Cashmere. It is just that kind of pretty gray, beigey color. It's so pretty. I did have it on in my November and December empties. I was wearing it in that video. It's pretty. It's really, really pretty. The formula actually seems a little bit better with these two. They're not quite as drying as some of the past lipsticks I've gotten from the matte lipstick line. So it is really good. So if you are looking for something like this, I would go check out Honeymoon. I know there are some gray lipsticks in the line now. I think there's a couple purples or something. I can't remember all the new colors. There's a lot. But I did get a couple shades of the regular butter glosses. I'm not a huge fan of the intense butter glosses just because they tend to really bleed outside of my lip line, even with lip liner and stuff. They're just, I have bad luck with them. So this is the butter gloss in Strawberry Cheesecake. It's just a really pretty pink color. I just kind of was thinking this might be nice for like spring and summer. And I don't really have anything. Well, I probably do have something this color, but I don't think I have any glosses this color. So that is Strawberry Cheesecake right there. The other one I got is Cranberry Biscotti. This one is more, it looks, you know, like a typical dark red, but it's kind of more of a berry color. I was thinking that this one might look really nice with my NYX High Voltage lipstick in Wine and Dine, or even on its own really with a pretty lip liner underneath. But that one is Cranberry Biscotti. So those are just, you know, the same great butter gloss formula, but just kind of some new colors. I know there's a black one now, and I want to say either the butter gloss formula or the intense butter gloss has like a really dark blue. So they have kind of some more fun colors. That one for sure, I know there's a couple more purples and that kind of thing too. So I would go check those out and see if your Ulta has them. I know they're definitely on the Ulta website, but I remember putting them out at our store a couple days ago. So they might be picked over already, they might not, but they should be out. This is another new product that I got to put out the other day. This is the Garnier Skin Active Micellar Cleansing Water. I don't know why, when I say micellar, I feel like that's probably wrong, but I can't pronounce it the way that the lady in the commercial says it. I don't know why, I've tried, but I sound really stupid when I try to say it. So I'm just going to stick with micellar because it doesn't sound as bad as what the other way is. But this is the waterproof version. I was going to get the cute pink one that's not waterproof, but I don't know, I just feel like some of my mascaras and stuff are really hard to remove and I would just be better off getting the waterproof one just to be on the safe side. And I'm going to try to show this to you. You can kind of see it is one of those dual phase products. I think the other one isn't, which is why this one's the waterproof one because it seems to have like an oil in it. So you do have to, you know, shake it up and then put it on a cotton pad and remove your makeup with it. But for me, I've had luck with makeup removers. They either remove my face makeup or they even remove my eye makeup, but it seems like they rarely remove both. And I did try this on a patch of foundation and it removed it just fine, and I tried on my eye makeup and it definitely removed it just fine. So I'm excited to see if this is something I can use all over my face or if I'm really going to have to just stick with eye makeup with it. But it does say face, lips, and eyes. No rinsing, no harsh rubbing, cleanses and refreshes. I'm really excited to see how well this is going to work. I want to say that girl Shea has talked about it before and how much she loves it, so that has me hoping that I will love it too. But that is the last one for my honorable mentions. Now on to my unfavorites. So I got this as gratis from work, and I feel like this is a brand we don't really sell much of, but I did talk about one of their products in my empties and I gave it a rave review because it was a great product. This is the Vichy Purtete Thermale 3-in-1, but then it says one-step cleanser. I don't know, it's not all in English. I think some of it is French, but kind of where I was going with this is it's a 3-in-1. It's a cleansing milk, a toner, and an eye makeup remover. So when I saw that it was a cleansing milk, I thought, cool, I can use this in the shower as a cleanser and I will get all my foundation off. And then I like to usually follow up with an exfoliator or a cleanser, like a glycolic acid cleanser or something, just something that kind of helps, you know, has some kind of benefit to it, whether it's exfoliation or anti-aging, just something with benefits. So I usually use some kind of makeup removing cleanser and then I go in with a different one. This just was not good. If I put makeup on the back of my hand like this and I squeeze a little bit out, it does come out as like a white cream cleanser and it will remove this just fine. But in the shower, it just doesn't work. It does not work. I had lots of foundation still on. I had tons of eye makeup still on, which is good because then I went in with the micellar cleanser water and removed the eye makeup. But I mean, this just didn't take anything off. So I'm thinking that I'm really just not going to be able to use this as I was kind of hoping. I might have to use this more on days that I don't have any makeup on and just kind of use it as a light cleanser, or just use it as an eye makeup remover outside of the shower, or remove it to swatches, I guess. But it just kind of was disappointing because I had a little bit more high hopes with this. So I'm just kind of sad because I got this as gratis and I don't really love it. Another face cleanser that I'm just not loving and I wanted to so bad. When I transferred stores and I started working at the one that I currently work at, we were talking about like our favorite skincare products and stuff, and two people, they both had acne. Not that it's a huge thing, but they were both saying how much they love the African black soap from Shea Moisture. And I was like, well, I don't have acne, but I get like occasional breakouts and it has been an issue for me a little bit more this last month. So I decided to get the Shea Moisture African Black Soap Problem Skin Facial Wash and Scrub. I know they get the bar soap. They were talking about how they use the bar. But I decided to get the scrub thinking like that would be good for, you know, getting dead skin off and dealing with acne and that kind of thing. I use this once. I cannot stand the smell of it. I was hoping it smelled like tea tree oil because it claims to have tea tree oil in it. But I just can't. I do not like the smell of this product. I don't think I could do it. The other thing that's a little bit disappointing, and I'll try to show this to you, is it's a white cleanser with like little black dots in it. You might be able to see it a little bit better down here. And those little black dots are, you know, your exfoliation. Otherwise, it's pretty much just a creamy kind of cleanser. But the black dots are supposed to be kind of your exfoliator, and they just slide. Like I tried to get some under my fingers and try to actually exfoliate with them, and they just like slip right out and they just don't exfoliate. So that was kind of frustrating because I was like, this is just like rubbing cream on my face. I'm not actually like exfoliating or anything. It's not really a scrub. So it just didn't work for me. The other issue I had was that when I got out of the shower, and I mean, I thought I rinsed this off really, really well. I did have like the little black pieces. I had a piece like up here in my hair. I had a piece like back here, kind of, you know, back at the end of my jawline. I don't know, it was just weird. I've never really had that happen too often with a cleanser where I don't get it all off, or I find the scrubby beads later, like in my hair or whatever. But this I did. So I'm going to be taking this back and I'm going to get something different. I don't know, I'm not liking this. And since Garnier is kind of impressing me with the micellar water from the little bit I've tried, I'm thinking I'm going to get their charcoal cleanser scrub and try that out. I've been really wanting to try some charcoal products too, so I think that's what I'm going to exchange it for. And this is the other thing I bought that was Shea Moisture. This is the Superfruit Complex Bubble Bath and Body Wash with mango butter and green coffee bean extract. It is supposed to be contouring, firming, and smoothing. Again, I don't like the smell of this. I thought like Superfruit, that sounds like it smelled kind of nice, but it smells really weird. Oh, why did I open that? It smells really, really weird. It's a very runny consistency, which is not really a huge issue, but the consistency is almost a little weird to be using in the shower. I don't know how to explain it. It's not jelly, it's not creamy, it's like something kind of weird in between. It's just not enjoyable. I just don't like this, so I'm going to be taking this back too. I only used a very tiny amount of this and it just really wasn't impressed. So I'm going to be getting something else too with that because I need body wash and I need another facial scrub, but those two just didn't work for me. Shea Moisture does have fantastic products, but I just was disappointed with those two, so I'm not knocking them as a line, because as a line they do have some really fantastic products. Just those two are not it for me. Sorry, that was my phone. Lastly, I have two concealers. The first one up, I tried this one yesterday and was super disappointed. I've talked about before how the Urban Decay Naked Skin is just my favorite concealer, but it's just so expensive. It's $28 and I go through it really, really fast. But I've been kind of looking for a cheaper dupe so that way I can kind of prolong. All of a sudden my phone is just going off a lot. But anyways, I've been trying to find something that's kind of a dupe, something that's cheaper, something that's still going to work for me. So I picked up this Rimmel Match Perfection 2-in-1 concealer and highlighter in Fair. And I feel like in the packaging it looks plenty light enough, but when I actually apply it, it's not. It's a little too dark. But the other thing is it's just got like no coverage. I don't know, even the concealer I have on today I don't love, but it's better than this. It just had like no coverage to it. It just looked like I had foundation on, which I don't really need a lot of concealing, so I feel like if this isn't concealing for me, this isn't going to conceal for someone that has dark circles or any kind of eye discoloration pretty much at all, because like I said, I don't really have a ton to conceal. So this just, it's going back. I don't like it. Wish I did, because I feel like it actually looked light enough, so that would have been kind of nice. The other one, this one's just too pricey. It is the L'Oreal Visible Lift Serum Absolute Concealer. This was like $11.99 or $12.99, so I had really high hopes for it. That, and it had really good reviews on the Ulta website. It is a lot better concealer than the Rimmel one, but it is too dark. And this is the Fair shade. This is 120 Fair. And I should have known, just looking at that little window, that that was not going to work for me. But I just was like, I'm going to give it a try, because things in the packaging can be deceiving. Like, let's just give this a fair shot. It is a nice concealer. It does have good coverage. I like it because it's a little bit like moisturizing, so my under eye hairs don't look so dry. But it's just not the right color, and that is so frustrating. I know there's, you know, videos out there on like you can get the NYX lavender concealer and mix it with it and lighten it up. But, I mean, at 5 o'clock in the morning when I have to get ready for work, or, I mean, last week I had to get up at 3:30 one day, I don't feel like mixing concealers at 3:30 in the morning. So, call it lazy, call it what you will, but I just don't feel like mixing. I just want a good concealer right out of the jar that I don't have to mix. So that one sadly just isn't it for me. But that is it for my favorites, honorable mentions, and unfavorites. Again, thank you guys so much for the 1,000 subscribers. That's just makes my month, especially because it has been a difficult month with it being Christmas and working retail. So that just was a nice way to end the year. But thank you so much, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!